feels good to be outside again. However many we can steal out of this. Yeah, I agree. We have a little fire pit here at Corner House Christian Church, and we'll do yoga by firelight if it stays warm enough. Welcome to our yoga brought by Mercy Health Stepping Out program. My name is Michelle, and welcome. So if you want to join us in a comfortable seat, this is our Thursday yoga, so it's our low and slow. We like to hold the positions for longer, and our stretches end up going deeper for it, and we become stronger. So just relax and enjoy, and we'll start by finding our breath. With every exhale, try to just let go of your worries and your thoughts. We'll press both palms together at our heart center. Let our chin sink to our chest. And set our intention for our practice this evening. Think about what you want to get out of your time on the mat, or maybe what inspired you to come here to begin with. Raising our head. We're going to let both hands come down alongside our body, and we're going to continue with the breath using our arms. So as we inhale, the arms raise. As we exhale, they'll float back down to the earth. Inhale. Exhale back down. Inhale. Inhale, we're going to let our right hand come down to our left knee, and as we straighten, we're going to think about straightening from the bottom up. So we roll up the spine, going into a gentle twist, looking over the left shoulder. Straightening out, we're going to leave the right hand where it is, and the left hand will reach up and over. We're going to stay in a straight line so our shoulders are stacked. Try to get some length in our left side. As we sit up, we'll let that left arm cross over to our right knee, and then we'll gently fold forward. And with each exhale, try to just relax and let gravity take over your stretch. Relax your hips, don't hold any tension there. Roll back up to a seated position, untangling those arms. We'll inhale up, and this time our left hand will come to, our right knee. And we're gonna go into a twist to our right side. Sorry, we're outside. the dangers. And you're looking over that right shoulder. You'll release to the front, keeping that left hand on the right knee. The right arm is going to reach up and over into a side stretch this way. And as we sit up, the right hand will cross over to that left knee. We're going to fold forward gently. We'll back up to a seated position. Uncross those arms. We'll open the feet until the soles of our feet touch here. And let's go ahead and bounce the knees gently in our cobbler pose. Your hands can either be with the pointer fingers hooking onto your big toes, or if it feels comfortable better today, you can hold onto your ankles or your shins, whatever feels good, so that you can get relaxation in your hips. Your back should be able to be nice and straight, and your shoulders are relaxed. Okay, and as we come to stillness, we're going to bring the knees together, and we'll slide the feet out in front of us as far away from you as you can, with the soles of your feet still touching the earth. And we're just going to fold forward gently, resting our chest onto our thighs if possible, but just relaxing. With each exhale, try to just surrender a little bit more. Rolling up to a seated position, we're going to straighten out that left leg. Bending the right, we're going to cross the leg over. And we're going to start by giving ourselves a little massage here. So start in the arch of our foot with our thumbs and just do little circles, keeping our knee as open as you can. And we're going to move down the foot, into the toes. Then we're going to just start helping the ankle do some circles. Now you're going to grab the toes and have your foot flex here. A little bit of help from their friends. And relax. And let's go ahead and lean our weight back on our hands here. The fingertips will be facing to the front. As we shift our weight back, we'll draw that left leg in. So our heel, the closer you get it to your body, the more intense this stretch will be. You're trying to keep this right knee open, and that right ankle is crossed over that left thigh. So pushing our chest in towards the legs. pull the left ankle in. As we sit with our legs crossed like this, as we have the heel as close to our sits bones as possible, we're going to just try to relax to get both hips onto the earth. And you might open up your legs a little bit so that you can do that, or it might even feel better to go tighter, but the idea is that both hips are square. Let's go ahead and bring both hands out, and we'll let the left arm cross over, the right hand bend up into our eagle arms. You're going to bring the palms until they face, and then we'll raise those elbows. Or, as always, our modification is to give ourselves a nice big hug. And raise the elbows. Release. And we can untangle those legs. We're going to go ahead and straighten them out all the way this time. Give them a little shake before you gently fold forward. Now, you are trying to bring our forehead or the crown of our head towards our toes. So I want you to have that image in your mind rather than just bringing our nose to our knees, because if we do that, we're just sort of crunching down. Whereas if we think about elongating, we keep that stretch moving. And it doesn't matter if you can't go very far. It matters what your muscles say that you're doing. So if your muscles feel good and the stretch is effective for you, that's what counts. We're going to roll up to our seated position. And again, we're going to draw that left foot in. We're going to cross the ankle over that right thigh, trying to open up our left knee here. My hip is super tight today, so mine doesn't look like I'm doing it at all. And we'll start with our little mini foot massage. I can say what to do, but honestly, you need to do what feels good for your foot today. Our pressure points, you can start in the arch and mini circles outward, go down the foot into the pads of your toes. Try to visit all 5 toes. And just listen to your body. If it feels good, maybe give it an extra little minute there. And just keep going. And then we're going to help it with those ankle circles. We'll grab the toes and flex. Releasing our hands from there, we're going to let the hands come back behind us once again. And as we shift our weight back, we'll draw that right foot in, and as far as you want, press that chest up into those thighs. Our seated pigeon, upright pigeon, I don't know what we call that, but it feels nice. As we release, we'll draw that right heel in towards our sits bones, and then we just gently pull the top leg back as well. Whatever feels good here as we have our legs stacked until we get both hips anchored down to the earth. Give this just a moment, because this in and of itself feels really good on our hips, maybe, or it's a stretch for you. And we'll stretch those arms wide. And this time we'll let the right cross over to the left bends up, and we'll wrap that right around until our palms touch, lifting those elbows up. Or we've crossed over and we're gonna hug onto the shoulders, lifting the elbows up. Go ahead and release. Untangle those legs. Just bring them out in front of us. And we'll do our gentle windshield wipers, side to side. And we'll go on to our tabletop position on all fours. Take a moment to make sure we have our alignment. Our knees are in line with our hip. They're hip distance apart. Our wrists are in line with our shoulders and also shoulder distance apart. Have our fingers spread out nice and wide. Our shoulders are active, so we're really pushing out. And we are keeping our core engaged and pulled in at all times. We're going to go ahead into our cat-cow breathing. So feel free to begin if you're familiar. Our cow breathing begins with a big inhale, and we drop our belly, opening up our chest, looking forward, being sure not to sink into the shoulders. So that's the only challenge here. And then we're going to exhale, tuck that tailbone and chin in, arch the back out. Really press all the air out before we go back down into the cow. And return to your cat, exhaling deeply. And just flow back and forth between these two at your own pace, doing what feels good, what your body needs. Go ahead and finish one more set, and we can meet in a neutral spine. And we're going to tuck our toes. We're going to do a hovering table here. So our whole body is going to stay the same. The only difference is we're going to press into those toes and lift the knees off of our mat about an inch or two. So just lift up a little bit. We're going to hold, 2, release, 2, lift, and hold, release, and set. Lift, hold, release, and set. Lift, hold, release, and set. And this time, let's go ahead and lift and hold it. Don't forget to breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. We can untuck those toes. And you can have your knees widen a little bit more, maybe as wide as your mat. We'll let the hips sink back to the heels. Stretch those hands out in front of us before melting into our mats. Active child's pose. And if it feels good today, or if it feels better, you can always bring those hands in to support your head. We roll up to our tabletop, straightening out our knees, tucking those toes once again. We're going to lift the hips up to the sky, coming to our downward facing dog. Go ahead and walk your feet out at first. Keep your gaze in between your feet. Tilt the pelvis forward so you get that nice sharp stretch from the heels of your hands up to your tailbone. And then you can start pressing your heels into your mat, and that'll naturally straighten your legs out as much as you're able to. Let's go ahead and walk our feet forward. And with our knees bent, either generously or gently, we're going to rest our chest onto our thighs and hang for a moment in a forward fold. And then slowly roll up to a mountain pose. And our head will be the last thing that comes up. Just see that energy rolling all around us. It flows down our backs and up our fronts. So we want to make sure those tailbones are tucked under. Make sure that our weight is equal on all 4 corners of our feet. Make sure our thighs are active, and that naturally lifts up off of our knees. That core is pulled in. Our shoulders are pressed down and back. And as we tuck the chin under, we pull the head back so that the spine is in alignment. Inhale our hands up. Right hand will grab our left wrist and gently pull to the side. And with gentle knees, we're going to let that left foot come down and back in sort of a curtsy move. Come on back to center. And we're going to switch arms. So right arm held by the left, gently pull it to the side. And then easy knees to let that right foot come down and back. We'll come back to center. Come into a forward fold. And we're going to take a big step back with our right foot to come to a low lunge. We want to be able to be light on our fingers here, so we have that nice straight back. We don't want to be turtle right now. We'll drop our back knee, and once you feel good, we're gonna put our hands on our front thigh and just gently push up to our crescent lunge. You can lift our arms if that feels good. And if you want to lift your face up to the sunshine, soak it all in while we can. And we're going to bring our hands back down to our heart center. Releasing both hands down. We'll keep the right hand down and the left hand will reach up in our stretch. Nice little spinal twist. Left hand will come down. We're going to lift that right leg up. And then with a big push off, we'll come to a forward fold. Take a big step back with the left foot. Low lunge. Light on our fingers. Dropping our back knee, uncurling those toes. Our hands will come up on that thigh, gently lifting to a crescent. Hands will come up. And look up to the sun once again. Bring our hands to our heart center. Left hand will come to the mat. Right hand will lift up. Right hand comes down. We're going to lift that back knee. And we're going to push off with the left foot. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up to a flat back. Either have your hands on the earth, or maybe on your shins or thighs. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we're going to bend our knees gently and come all the way up to a standing mountain pose again. And we'll bring our hands to our heart center. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Big step back to a low lunge. Light on our fingers. Drop the back knees. And press back up to our crescent lunge. Hands up. Now instead of our hands coming to our heart center, we'll let those hands come down to the earth, but swing all the way through so we can shift our weight to our back knee, straightening the front leg into a half split, drawing those toes up off of the earth. Now with our half split, try to make sure that this back leg stays perpendicular and we don't rock out here. We want to try to keep it straight up and down. And then as we relax, we let that nose go towards our knee. We'll shift our weight back to the front. Right hand stays anchored. Left hand reaches up. Left hand comes down. We'll lift that back knee. And then we're going to push off with the back foot. Exhale, forward fold. Big step back with the left foot. Low lunge. Light on our fingers. Drop our back knee. And we're going to press up to our crescent lunge. Hands up if it feels good. And eyes up. Once again, instead of prayer, we're going to bring our hands all the way down to the mat, shifting our weight to our back foot. Straighten the front leg, pulling the toes up off of the mat. Exhale into a forward fold here, nose towards our knee. You can either keep your hands back here to support yourself, or if you want to deepen your stretch, those hands can walk towards your front foot. Shifting our weight to the front. Left hand plants, right hand lifts. Right hand comes down. We'll bring that right foot back to meet the left, returning to our tabletop position. Cross our ankles, and we're just going to keep going backwards until we find ourselves seated on our mat once again. We're going to go ahead and roll all the way down. So try to keep your feet anchored at all times. Slowly, slowly. Tuck that chin. Breathe. I'm going to walk in first one foot. We're going to lift that right foot up to the sky. I almost said ceiling. The blue ceiling way up yonder. We're going to bend this knee deeply. And you can either have your fingers interlaced and pull on the back of that thigh, or maybe walk the hands up the leg a little bit. Or see if you can go all the way up to the foot. And just let that knee go towards the armpit as we come into a nice stretch. As we release, we'll let that foot point to the sky, and then we'll cross that right ankle over the left thigh. We'll lift the left foot off of the earth, lifting up gently, keeping that core engaged. And then when we get to right about here, we're going to straighten that left leg. Go ahead and release the left foot down. We can release the right foot. Extend the left foot up. And start by bending deeply the knee towards the armpit. And again, you can interlace the fingers and start pulling the thigh if you want. Or you can walk your hands up the leg. Maybe even reach the outside of that foot. Release and let that leg straighten. Left ankle will cross over the right thigh. Lifting the right thigh up off of the earth until we're about perpendicular to it. And then we're going to straighten that right leg up. Keep the core holding that leg where it needs to be. right foot down, and then the left. We're going to do that pelvic tilt we've been working on. So we tilt the pelvis so that the lower end of the pelvis is actually reaching up. And we're pressing our lower back into the earth really hard here. And we're going to lift first one leg so that our leg is parallel to the earth and our knee is perpendicular here, our thigh is perpendicular. And then we'll draw the other leg up with it. And now we've been doing toe taps, which look like this. And if you want to do single toe taps, that's awesome. Please go ahead. If you're ready to go to the next level, we're going to do double toe taps. So core has to work here. We have to keep this tilted or you're going to get hurt. So keeping that tilted, we're going to lower both down and up. Down and up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and head and release. You wouldn't think that that would be as hard as it is. We're going to straighten that left leg out. Arms are going to be out to our sides in a nice big T. And that right leg is going to roll over, shifting the entire body towards the left here. Keep both shoulders anchored to your mat. And we're in a supine spinal twist. If it feels good, you can look over your right shoulder. Rolling back to our mat, we'll draw the left foot up, straighten out the right, let the left leg fall over our body, anchor both shoulders down, and we'll look over our left shoulder. Back down to center. Drawing both feet up. I'm going to do a little different tonight. We're going to lift both feet up to the ceiling, the sky, the sky. You're going to see if you can reach up with your hands and grab your ankles. If you have your calves, that's okay too. And we're going to pull our face up towards our legs. And then we're just going to slowly roll those legs down. Keep the legs straight. Really hold in the core. And release our arms. As we come into our Shavasana, feel free to get any props or anything that'll make you feel more comfortable. Shake it out a little bit. Take some good cleansing breaths in and out. With each breath, try to just let go and relax a little bit more. We didn't stay very low, but we did stay slow. We know that our Shavasana practice begins with a body scan, but then you're given time just to stay in your own peace and quiet. So let's go ahead together and start our body scan. We'll wiggle our toes. And feel that relaxation. Climb up our feet. Allow it to seep into the calves. And relax the thighs. You can feel the legs just rolling open naturally a little bit. The more and more we release and let go. As we release the hands, the fingers curl up naturally. And all the tension just falls away out of the arms. Breathe as many times as it takes to let go of the tension held in the shoulders and the neck. Release the jaw, maybe letting it open a little. And relax the muscles of the face. Just feel all of our tension leaving out of the crown of our head. You can go ahead and start wiggling your fingers and your toes. And on your next big inhale, roll over to one side, cradling your head with your arm. return your thoughts to the intention that you set at the beginning of our practice. Let that be your inspiration and your anchor as you leave the mat, drawing to mind how you feel right here, right now. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and join me in a lotus position, seated. Press both palms together at a heart center. As we sink our chin to our chest, the final part of any yoga practice is to end your session, and this is a very personal thing. You need to do whatever feels right for you. Ride your motorcycle or whatever. You can just say thank you, you can say amen, you can say I did it, but do know that you are strong, you are present, and you are loved. So thank you for spending time out of your busy day with me. I was so blessed. Namaste. And I'm sorry I dropped you.